Today, you may be here celebrating. Next time, you'll be on the other side crying, like Opio and I is crying today. And only 9 months ago, Madam Speaker, you know, Opio and I then sitting where John Buddy is sitting, and he used to also like that corner there, would be cheering as John Buddy celebrated very major atrocities against us and the Kenyan people. But I don't stand here to celebrate atrocities against anybody. And I don't celebrate any travesties on the justice of the people of Kenya. And Parliament, as Opio and I says, is an open place to members of the public. However, Honorable Speaker, we live in a civilized democracy. And in a civilized democracy, like happens all over the world, around parliaments, they are picketing corners. Around the world, parliaments, including the Parliament of the Republic of Kenya, members of the public are allowed into the public gallery, and with the Speaker's permission, even to the Speaker's gallery, to be able to watch and follow the proceedings of the House. And in this endeavor to have an open parliament for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, that is why even our debates are televised live by the Parliamentary Broadcast Unit to ensure that Kenyans from wherever they are, even from the comfort of their homes, they can be able to follow debates. But that, Honorable Speaker, doesn't mean that we live in an island. And it's only yesterday or the day before, I think it was on Thursday or yesterday, that the Speaker reminded us about our own safety within the precincts of Parliament. He reminded us about the bombing of parliaments around the world, I think in Beirut, in Lebanon. You remember most recently in Burkina Faso, mobs taking over parliament and burning parliament, the parliament of Burkina Faso. And I say we don't live in an island, Honorable Speaker, because we have seen what those who associate with Opio and I, my minority leader, believe to be peaceful protests and peaceful demonstrations. And therefore, if the police in their wisdom feel it is not secure to allow people who purport to be picketers or demonstrators or peaceful demonstrators around and within the precincts of Parliament to protect the Honorable Opio and I, or to protect the Honorable Mwenje or the Honorable Owen Bayer, it is within the right of the police to exclude anybody who they feel is a threat to our national security and the security of members of Parliament, including the Honorable Opio and I, our leader of minority, who must at all times be protected because of the many things he needs to be protected against. And that is why the government of Kenya, through the Inspector General of Police, has even provided a number of bodyguards. I think a minimum of 14 bodyguards, the Honorable Opio and I, as leader of the minority. Yes, you may not know it, John Buddy. The leader of minority is entitled to 14 bodyguards, guarding even his residences, both in the village, in Nairobi, and elsewhere. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, if the police have opted to ensure the leader of minority and the leader of majority and each and every member of Parliament is protected by the police, even our staff working in this House, Honorable Speaker, deserve protection. And therefore, we should not take it that anybody is precluding people from following the proceedings of the House when the police do what they want to do. And I want to speak to those people who are being mobilized to come and attempt, because, Honorable Speaker, I am also in the know, having engaged with a number of intelligence officers around this House. And you know there are enough intelligence officers in, outside, and around this House, Honorable Speaker, that there are people who are being mobilized I hear people asking by who. I say there are people who are being mobilized to attempt to intimidate members of parliament not to come to and carry out their constitutional mandate yesterday afternoon, today, and tomorrow. And I want to ask the Inspector General of Police, even now, anybody who wants to picket around Parliament needs to notify the police where they want to picket, over what. If they can write to the Speaker, I am sure around KICC on the opposite side, I think there is already some space that is now already designated as a picketing corner. And your right to picket and demonstrate ends where mine to carry out my constitutional work as a member of parliament begins. Nobody should attempt to stop any member of parliament from coming to do their work as members of parliament. However you feel about the finance bill or any other business. And you may as well protest in our constituencies. You may protest anywhere else, but do so peaceably or in a peaceful manner and in line with all the provisions of Public Order Act, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, I don't want to take that there was any sinister move in excluding people who the police and the Inspector General of Police felt were a threat to the security of members of parliament. Because above anything else, Honorable Speaker, our own safety here, as the Speaker said, the substantive Speaker said yesterday, is paramount. And that's why the Speaker even yesterday was pleading with us, even as we walk in. As I walked in here, I stood there and allowed the Sergeant at Arms to carry out a body search on me. I was hoping the Speaker yesterday would name the member who was threatening to strip, because a Sergeant at Arms has asked her to be searched. Because members, as the Speaker said yesterday, we must be careful. If we lose any one of us here because of a bombing, or somebody walked in here with a gun. I remember in the last parliament, there was an incident where a member was seated behind me here and was said to have carried a gun. So the things that we are talking about, Honorable Speaker, are not things in the air. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you need to protect the Honorable Babu Owino. Babu Owino has never carried a gun into the chamber. Babu Owino has only carried guns elsewhere. Therefore, you need to make sure that Babu Owino does not walk in here with a gun. Or indeed Ichungwa doesn't walk in here with a gun. Or anything else, even a grenade. I would beg that we do allow our security agencies to secure us, but to tell Kenyans and the world that the Parliament and the National Assembly of Kenya is an open place for people, and Kenyans are free to picket. Kenyans are free to air their views. If anything, I said yesterday, this finance bill is the only finance bill, actually the only bill that we have transacted in the last close to 15 years that has had the most robust public participation. As I came this morning, I was listening to a local FM still called Kamehameha FM. And on that Kamehameha FM, Honorable Speaker, I had some former MCA who was a cleaner in my county. Yeah, he used to be a sweeper and was elected, fortunately, as an MCA, pretending to be a finance expert and saying all manner of fake things on Kamehameha FM. But since we know the Kamehameha FM, the owners are part of the propaganda machinery against the finance bill, we allow them. And I also want to assure the people of Kenya, even as they picket, even as they express their views, as I said during the second reading, a lot of the misinformation, lies, and propaganda, including that on Kamehameha FM, what you are being told is not true. Nobody will die because this finance bill has passed. Nobody will get hurt because this finance bill has been passed by this House. And I want to ask the Honorable Robert Bui also, this afternoon, be ready to vote for those progressive clauses in that bill that you think will be beneficial to the people of Kathiani. Those that you think are not beneficial, I want to ask you to bring amendments and not to play to the gallery. Honorable Speaker. let me end it there because we have very important business ahead of us, and I don't think this was a matter for debate. I just want to respond to my good friend, the Honorable Pio, and I to assure him that he is secure, he is safe. But as much as you are safe, please do not organize anybody to preclude me from coming to the House, or any member of Kenya Kwanza to be intimidated, or any member of Azimio to be intimidated by those who support this bill from coming to oppose this bill on the floor. Babu Owino should have the freedom to come and oppose this bill on the floor. And I know those who are not in the House, like my friend, the former leader of minority, the Honorable John Buddy, gets very excited because he needs to be seen that he is opposing this bill. Those who never voted for second reading in Azimio need to be seen and to be heard that they are opposing this bill. Because if they are not seen and heard, you have seen the kind of letters they are getting from ODM. And ODM also, as a political party, Honorable Speaker, must stop intimidating its members. They must stop. Members have the freedom of conscience to vote as they want.
No!
I do not want to name you Lily and Gogo.